So here's my featurette video on the 1/2 inch drive Snap-on Tech Angle torque wrench. This isn't going to be a video on all the little features of how to use it and how to scroll through the menu. You can read the manual. This is what I like about it, my experience with it. So if you're looking to buy one, this is sort of a cheat video that I would want to have on what am I buying, what am I not buying. Well, for starters, it's a fine tooth, like 80 tooth. That's good, I like that. On-off switch is good on a torque wrench. Some of them don't have it. My 1/2 inch drive does not have it. This is good for when you're dealing with torquing down of reverse threads on some situations. You'll note that it's not Snap-on USA, and that's probably because Snap-on has got a contract with somebody to produce these for them out of country, out of USA, under license. And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not a globalist by any means, but if you can get your torque wrench made in Mexico or India or Japan or something like that, and you want to have a good quality control and contract with somebody, so be it, more power to it. Yes, the made in USA has generally meant synonymous with quality, but unfortunately, not everybody wants to pay for what's made in the US of A these days. So one of the things I like is the fact that it's got a flat spot underneath so that the wrench is not rolling around when it's on a flat surface. It's going to stay, which is necessary when you go to Tech Angle. Tech Angle, it wants you to maintain still, and it wants to allow the gyroscopes or whatever that are in it to figure out what angle it's at. It runs off of 3 AAA batteries, so you're not stuck buying some exotic batteries. And when you turn it on, it tells you right away how much battery. You know, you've got a three little 1/3 rating on the battery. Pretty self-explanatory here. You can go through the units pretty easy on what you want to do. Okay, you come out of here and you go to Tech Angle, and it says zeroing, so it says set still, and then you would up your angle how many degrees that you want. Now the neat thing about the Tech Angle is that once you've completed doing 60 degrees or 50 degrees or 90 degrees, it will then flash that you've achieved it and sound the alarm and everything, but then it will show you what the torque rating was to get to the Tech Angle that you chose, which is really neat because we were doing head bolts on the Duramax, and it was telling us that on our second pass we were achieving like 100 foot-pounds, which was really neat. The wrench itself is rated to 300, to go all the way to 300, and it is longer than 24 inches. Right? It is a very, very, very long wrench, which I like. You need a long drawer to fit it in. You got vibration in the handle, and then you've got tone. But the most interesting thing is the fact that the LEDs light up from progressively red, 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 you're not there yet, you know, to orange to, okay, you know, keep pulling, and then boom, you know, you're at torque. So you can see that when you're on an angle, because, you know, looking at this display is not always beneficial. So actually, when I was torquing, I was looking at these. You know, I was waiting, watching the progression, and then when it would beep, I knew I had it, and then I could take a peek at it to see where I was at. Menu's pretty easy. You just come back out, hold this down. You're into the menu, and then you can change, you know, anything that you want. That's pretty self-explanatory, right? Now, up here is your cycle count, how many you've done it at whatever your settings are. So it resets once you've set it to a different setting. So if I got 700 inch-pounds, great. Let's go to foot-pounds. It'll maintain that count progressively. You know, how many did you do at 58? You know, as soon as you go to 59 or something, or 56, well, then it resets it back to 0. This is very, very valuable we were doing 16 head bolts and one got missed in the pattern. We got talking, something happened, one got missed out of the sequence. And rather than doing 8 or 18, I think it was 18 head bolts, the count had read 17, and we knew, oops, we'd missed one. So we just went back around and saw which one took some torque, and we found the missing one. So that's very, very valuable. I really like it. If you're doing a lot of engine work, this is a must. And that's why I got this, is that torque to yield fasteners are the future now. So they want things to stretch, right? And you need to be able to do the degrees. And I think that doing the old-fashioned gauges is just a pain because it's not practical. I got the 1/2 inch first because of the majority of the work that we're doing are head bolts and studs and 3/8. Eventually I will get a 3/8 one in this as well. This one was $1,000 in Canadian, in mini bucks, $1,000. Totally worth the investment. Did not think twice. When I saw how many head bolts I had to do, 18 aside on the Duramax times 2, plus flywheel bolts. If you're rebuilding the Duramax, you're taking the flywheel off to get the pan off. And those are torqued incredibly tight, the flywheel bolts. This is just a must-use tool. Going with the gauges is just not practical. I still have, in my drawer, the old-fashioned split beam torque wrench, and I'll never get rid of this. I mean, if I don't need tech angle, this is what I'm going to pull. There's your Snap-on USA. And I mean, Snap-on did not make this. I know that. The head they get made, but the actual torque tool, they don't. Precision Industries or something makes them. And that's fine. If you want to go buy one from them, fine by me. And then I'll eventually get my 3/8. I'll keep this one. I'll keep this one as well. But I'll be going digital probably at some point this year. My plan is I've got a project car coming that's going to be a bit of a surprise, and we might even start a separate channel on the project car of what we're going to be doing and pulling the engine on it and putting a big ass turbo on something and doing some real fun stuff. So there'll be a lot of rebuilding videos coming up, and I might even just do a separate channel for that if people don't like it messing up the tool videos. So it doesn't fit in my box inside the case. I've got an old school box, right? And that's how I like it. And I just do not have the width, so I've got to fit it in on the angle, right? Which is fine by me. I'd do this in a heartbeat again. I think it's worth it. Now, here's the final bit. If you stayed 8 minutes into this, here's why I chose the Snap-on. I was considering doing some of the other secondary brands out there for $500 that do tech angle. I just did not have confidence in their electronic technology. I'm quite certain the wrench can do everything it needs to, but this is amazing. Like when we were torquing head bolts and rod bolts, whether you're under the vehicle or on top, it didn't matter. This thing, you could see the indicator as to where you were. It beeped, it did the count. You knew what was going on, and I had the utmost confidence that whatever technology Snap-on's put into here had built for them, it was giving us a true readout. And I don't have that confidence yet with, say, Gear Wrench or any of the other brands. So for me, I was going to shell out the extra $400 and go all the way to Snap-on and know that any engine building I do from here on out for the rest of my days, this will be the one that I use. So when I look at it that way, the $1,000 is nothing. Like $1,000 over the next 10 years of engine building and doing projects. Yeah, it's easy. So there you go. That's my take on it. Hope that helps. Lay out a comment, ask some more questions. Like I said, this wasn't a showing you how to use it. You got plenty of videos for that. So stay tuned. We'll do some more stuff coming up soon.